A warm welcome och välkommen to the third and last of our webinars presenting the exhibiting companies in the Swedish Energy Pavilion here at the Hanover Fair 2021. My name is Ninni Löwgren-Tischer. I'm heading the Department of Market Entry and Business Development at the German-Swedish Chamber of Commerce here in Stockholm, and I'm very happy to lead you through today's session. Today we focus on sustainable mobility, one of the core areas in Sweden's strategy towards a 100% fossil-free society. Electromobility, charging infrastructure, hydrogen, and the fuel cell are on everybody's lips. So let's have a look at what Sweden's second largest city, Göteborg, contributes to this, and let us present three innovative Swedish companies from the area of electromobility and hydrogen: C-TEK, ElonRoad and MyFC. A warm welcome to all of you. And again, my colleagues from the German-Swedish Chamber of Commerce and representatives from these companies are online and look forward to chat with you. Please be active, raise questions and discuss. We start right away, moving to West Sweden and Göteborg. We are very happy to have you as a close partner with us today, Joel. You are investment advisor within the area of automotive and cleantech at Business Region Göteborg. And Göteborg surely is a hotspot for innovation and sustainable development. You will introduce us to the region and some best practices concerning transforming transportation. Joel, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, Ninni. I would also like to thank the Swedish-German Chamber of Commerce and Smart Cities Sweden and the Swedish Energy Agency for making it possible for me to speak here at this event. I work at Business Region Gothenburg as an investment advisor and help companies to establish and invest in Gothenburg. The Gothenburg region is the second city of Sweden, located on the west coast with good proximity to three capitals in the Nordics. We have also the biggest port in the Nordics. We help companies to establish and invest in our region, and all of our services, of course, are free of charge for soft landing. But this time I will talk about a journey that Gothenburg has made from the 80s, where the industrial city was very polluted and where the Minister of Environment, Birgitta Dahl, was really concerned about the city's future. The city started then to develop a cooperation between academia, industry and the public side to help with different projects to find new solutions. And this was the way to take going from an industrial town to a city of knowledge. Today, the air is cleaner and we have had a lot of new solutions. For instance, district heating systems and biogas development. And today we are even so proud that we can showcase these corporations or these solutions for the whole world. And we do that under the Green Gothenburg label together with Smart City Sweden. One of the three shipyards that had to go because of the competition has now become one of the three science parks in Gothenburg, the Lindholmen Science Park, which is the biggest science park. Here, companies like Volvo, Ericsson and Volvo Group and also Geely have established and developed their future products and services. Speaking of Geely, just not so long time ago, they decided to invest and build the Uni3, which is an R&D campus, which is the actually biggest R&D outside of China for Geely Group. 100,000 square meters and space for 3,500 people. This will be ready in 2022, but already 2 buildings are up. Test beds are also an important tool for developing the city. Today we have 80 test beds in different areas. You can read more about them on our webpage, Invest Gothenburg. And today I will talk about one of those test beds, a really new one, which was launched this winter, the Gothenburg Green City Zone. The target or goal for this is to get an emission-free transport for people and goods in the zone. And it's actually 3 zones. We have a working zone at Lindholmen Science Park. We have a zone for visiting people, visiting area, the evenementstråket. And finally, a residential area, which is a test for developing the residential areas as well. But when you build these kind of projects, there is always a lot of challenges. Take, for instance, the central visiting area zone. The target for it is that it will double its size until 2030 in terms of number of people that visit it. There is also a complicated traffic situation, and also the needs for transport is ever growing. So what solutions do we see? Well, of course, electrification is one big part of it to get down the emissions, but also transport efficiency, trying to find out a way to reduce traffic, to get better flows, and also new solutions. We will work with sub-projects beneath the umbrella that is the Green City Zone. These sub-projects will then develop solutions that will get us to the goal for emission-free transports for people and goods in 2030 in this zone then. Of course, you must also remember that these are local emissions, so we don't take account for the emissions constructed for the vehicle or for the battery. But how will we do this? Well, of course, the cooperation is once again a very important tool, so in partnership. 4 core partners, Volvo Cars, who was the initiator, together with City of Gothenburg, Business Region Gothenburg, and RISE, Research Institute of Sweden, are the core partners. And together with the founding partners, with Chalmers University, other science parks, and a lot of those other companies that are in the public side. But here also this is a possibility for you as a supplier, as companies that deliver systems and innovation, to take part of this journey and to get your product and service into these as a showcase for the future. So we're welcoming all the companies to come to us and to develop these kind of things with us. And please take contact with me and I will get you to the project team. Thank you. And Ninni.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joel. Very impressive. I can imagine that Göteborg's journey is quite of interest, especially for German cities with a substantial industrial heritage as well. So there's surely matches, and we hope to see even more German-Swedish collaboration. So we're glad to have you there on spot, Joel, to keep the dialogue up and running and to guarantee a soft landing, as you call it. So thank you so much. So we then turn to the pitches and the 3 best practices from the companies in our Swedish Energy Pavilion. And first out, Cecilia Routledge, your Global Director E-Mobility at C-TEK. Please, the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much for inviting us to participate in the Hanover Messe show together with all of you. My name is Cecilia Routledge. I'm the Global Director at C-TEK E-Mobility. So who are C-TEK E-Mobility? Well, we have a proud heritage of being a Swedish company established already 20 years or so, and being really a leader in battery charging technologies. In the last 10 years, we have then gone towards building things that are not only for combustion engine vehicles, but for electrical vehicles and plug-in hybrid vehicles. So we now also develop EV charging stations and solutions for those types of cars. All our products are designed, developed and tested in Sweden, either north of Stockholm or south of Stockholm in our different sites. We work together with distribution partners in over 70 countries, and we have a lot of vehicle manufacturers who are among our prestigious clients. Innovation is really part of C-TEK DNA. 30% of our workforce is in R&D, and we do this in Sweden for products that are then being shipped around the world. And we also do it very much together with our customers. So we really tend to build strong relationships where we can build into the future. And EV and e-mobility is new, and I think we all need to be humble to say we don't know everything yet. So if we can work together, us, our clients, but also other partners in the whole network of sustainable mobility, we can come up with products in the future that help us to all be more green. What are our products and who are our customers and what do they want? What they want is a product that are safe, of course, and easy to use if you're a car driver and you suddenly need to change your behavior and charge your car. The installer need to be involved and they want something that is simple and cost effective, but then it needs to be scalable. So today we are in the infancy of going electric, and therefore in a building site you may think, well, I may need 2 chargers today, but actually in the future you may need to add more to the car parks you have, and inside the building you need to make sure that you can load balance so you can use the power that you have within the building in an efficient manner. Our main product is the ChargeStorm Connected 2. And on this picture, it's actually from Gothenburg. We have a flexible product that can go up to 22 kilowatts. It can either be single or dual. And it comes with all the safety built in. And it comes with a MID-approved energy meter so that you can actually understand how much power has been taken during the charge. It is also flexible in the way that it can integrate with a number of different back-end operators. It can be parking operators and their own apps and technologies they have. It can be so-called charge point operators and their back-end solutions. And that again makes our products and solutions very flexible to scale into the future. Nano-grid load balancing is an important part. And what is it and what does it mean? Well, if you have a building, you have power into that building. And now when you're putting charging station into it, the charging stations need to share the power with the lighting and the elevator. And by putting in a nano-grid solution, whether it's in a big facility up to 500 charge points or it's in a residential home with just one charge point, you can really load balance between the building and the chargers and therefore make the entire premises more efficient from a power consumption. We also have a portable charger for EVs. It's a new product called Njord Go. It's portable, it's up to 11 kilowatt. And that really means that you now have a fast and reliable product that you can use at home and you can fix it on the wall if you want to, or you take it with you when you're on the move. And it has all the functionality that you normally have in a fixed wall box, but you now have it in this portable one where you can actually schedule when to charge and you can see how much have you charged when you've been standing still with your car somewhere. So in the end, we deliver a complete end-to-end solution where you have the EV chargers, you have integrations to payment options, you have a back-end portal to do the administration in a larger infrastructure, as well as the load balancing system. And all of this, we will help you to both make sure that you get started with us, you get training into EV and how to install through our skill-based program, as well as support when an installer is out on site and installing the charging station. So why should you choose C-TEK? Well, we have a full range of smart EV charging stations that are easy to install and are scalable, and we will support you along the way. And when things evolve for you as a client or as a partner, and we see that we need new things to cover the demands and requirements in the future year, you can trust that we are here and we can be an innovative leader together with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Cecilia. We can really see that you have innovation in your DNA. And we are happy also to see and to hear that you develop your solutions in close cooperation with your customers. So that is, of course, a good base for more even German-Swedish cooperations. So thank you very much, Cecilia. We then proceed to ElonRoad, and Karin Ebbinghaus, you are CEO at ElonRoad. A lot is happening in Lund as well. Please tell us more.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be here, although it's digitally. But I want you to take a moment to picture yourself a future that is fossil-free, and you can drive with infinite range, and you never have to stop to refuel or recharge, and you don't have to have bad conscience about using scarce mineral or other things when it comes to batteries. And that is not a fiction. It's something that we're actually doing today and are building in Lund. So my name is Karin Ebbinghaus. I'm the CEO of ElonRoad, and we have constructed such a system which I would like to tell you more about. But first, why are we doing this? I mean, we are facing some really heavy challenges. And not only from COVID-19, it's been becoming much more clear that transportation is really affecting the way we live and the way and the air that we breathe. And hopefully we can see in the light afterwards that we have a better air quality. And that is something that electrification of the transport sector can contribute with. And at least in Sweden, 30% of our total CO2 emissions come from road transportation alone. And that's why the Swedish Transportation Agency has put such an effort of investigating how can we really solve this issue, and where we think that ElonRoad and electrical road system can really contribute. Because as we see, even though we are not traveling, unfortunately, to fairs and conferences today, we are still ordering things, and the levels of transportation is not looking to decrease. I mean, we need it for having economical growth, and then in the light of that, transportation will increase. So we think that we now have a golden opportunity to rethink and redesign how we would like to have the transportation sector looking into the future. So what we have done is to provide or build a platform technology. As you see here, it's an recycled extruded aluminium profile that we can either put on top of the asphalt or drill down, that is just have the same surface as the asphalt. And why do we do that? Yes, because we can provide energy to any kind of EV, either if it's a small personal car or if it's a long haul truck, while actually going in 160 kilometers an hour or standing still. And it works like this. So if the vehicle comes driving over the rail, it will send an encrypted radio signal, which will be detected by the smartness in the rail. And if it's an authorized vehicle, we will unlock power distribution in very short segments of only 1 meter at a time. And this means that we will only distribute power exactly underneath the vehicle. Therefore, this kind of system works equally well in a city or on a highway. And as I said before, we can transfer up to 300 kilowatts with 97% efficiency. So if we take a long haul truck, it probably requires somewhere in between 120-ish kilowatt just to drive. And then we can put the excess power into the battery. And we will communicate with the battery status, so we know what the battery needs and what it wants. And we also know the power available in the system, so we can distribute it either to the vehicles that need it the most or are able to pay the most. So it's a really smart system that can help contribute, not put so high effects on our power system going forward. And also we think that you will need less effect if you have electrical roads, because the vehicles will actually be lighter, because you will have less load capacity coming from batteries. And besides having this opportunity or possibility to charge, we have also included a lot of sensors in this aluminium profile. So it's really a hotel for IoT sensors. We have shaking, moist, and even radar. And this makes it, I would say, contribute to a more safe and secure transportation, because the road will actually be able to inform me as a driver, either if it's me as a person, or in the future, if we have autonomous vehicles, what the temperature will be going ahead. So if it's a drop, accidental freeze, we will know that. And also if there are objects close to or on the road, we will be able to form that. So not only being able to chart, but we are also digitalizing the roads. And why do we do this besides the environment? But we think that now when we have this rebuilding the transportation sector and going into electrification, the thing that worries people the most is actually access to charging and range anxiety. We want to talk about range happiness. And that's why we have sort of created this energy loop to provide you with this constant feed of energy, so you don't really have to think about that. It will be a non-issue. And the consequences of that is that you will have higher uptime and deployment of your vehicles. So if you are public transportation, you will be able to keep your timetable, you will not have to have extra buses, and you will have a smooth timetable, so to say, and you will have a capability of having more passengers, because you will not have to carry around so heavy batteries. And besides that, you will also reduce your carbon footprint, because as we know, it's not only transporting or transitioning from fossil fuel vehicles, but it also having smaller batteries that will have a gigantic impact on the climate. And we think, or we have done calculations together with Lund University, that having access to this kind of infrastructure, we can reduce battery sizes between 50 and 80%. So that's a really gain for the environment. And we think we are on this e-mobility journey. As you said before, it's an infant stage, this. And so we see that, of course, stationary charging will be the first step. And perhaps more of the same, but it will sort of evolve and be automated charging before we take the big step into electrical roads, where we have in-motion charging and we can have this flow and smooth transition. And hopefully within the next couple of years, we will have autonomous vehicles. And if you have autonomous vehicles, it makes for us much more sense to have automated charging going forward. So I would like for you to join us on this mobility journey that we're on. We are looking for partners to help us scale up. We are now building 1 kilometer of electrical road in the city of Lund, where we power a bus line. We also have some projects with DHL and other logistic fleet managers for stationary charging. And there we look at quite a lot of convenience, of course, removing the human error. But we think, or we know, we need to do this in partnership to change an industry like we need to do. Transforming this in 10 years to reduce the CO2 levels, you cannot do that on your own. So being the interface between the utilities and the energy companies and the automotives, of course, collaboration is key. And we are looking for more enthusiastic people and partners to take this journey together with us. So thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, Karin. Collaboration is key. I think that was a good way to putting it. And thank you also for drawing your picture of the future and how you use this golden opportunity, as you call it. So that gives surely hope. Now, third case out today is MyFC. Mikael Glans, you are CEO at MyFC. So why should everyone believe in the future of hydrogen? Please tell us.
Hello everybody, my name is Michael. I'm the CEO of MyFC, and I will give you a short introduction of MyFC and our technology. We are a Swedish innovation company. We were founded back in 2005 as a spin-off from KTH, that's a Royal Institute of Technology here in Stockholm. We're a technology solution provider, and we offer thin, modular and scalable PEM fuel cells that are easy to dimension and adapt into any e-mobility application. We develop hybrid technology solution combining batteries and hydrogen-based fuel cells, microfuel cells, so we can extend use and have zero tailpipe emissions. We're listed on Nasdaq First North Growth Market since 2014, and we have our headquarters here in Stockholm. We hold an extensive IP portfolio and patent landscape. A lot of these patents goes way back into the research of KTH, but also, of course, new patents along the road. So we have 24 patent families, over 100 granted and pending patents. Some key IP areas, it's a planar double-sided open-ended PEM fuel cell. We have a very cost-efficient design and production patent portfolio. The fuel cell manufacturing is also parts of the patents. Fuel cell and battery hybridization. We have something we call active power balancing, and that goes into our deep integration strategy. We have a optimal power point tracking control, which allows the fuel cell to operate on a very efficient level together with the hybrid system with the battery. And then we have hydrogen fuel chemistry as well, part of the portfolio. We focus on hybrid systems with batteries, and these have several advantages over a pure battery electrical vehicle or a pure fuel cell vehicle. The batteries are very good for dynamic output, but they're not very good for energy density. And the fuel cells, they run best steadily and have a great energy density. So by combining those two technologies, we think we have a very cost-efficient and energy-efficient system. When we introduce fuel cells into any electrical vehicle, small or big, we can minimize the charge time significantly. Instead of standing still and charge, we actually refuel the hydrogen in a few minutes instead of charging for hours. We also improve the battery lifetime drastically with up to 5 times. We can see that the battery lifetime, when we charge this optimum with the fuel cell, the battery lifetime increases. Key advantages. Our fuel cells are lighter, they're more compact, they're more cost efficient than traditional stacked fuel cells. We have a freedom in design, which means that we are modular and scalable. The design itself, we can design the fuel cells since they're planar and flat and thin. We can put them into spaces and volume where it's normally not available for a fuel cell stack. We can see that our fuel efficiency increases with our fuel cell controller, and also the energy density increases as well. Deep integration means that the fuel cell works in close collaboration with the battery BMS, the battery management system, for optimal cell balancing, temperature management and charging, and that results in a significantly improved battery cycle life, reducing the requirement of the battery capacity. Our fuel cells compared to stacked fuel cells, as you can see on the left-hand side here on the presentation, they're very thin and modular compared to a rigid stacked fuel cell. We are flexible in shape and form, means that we can bend the fuel cell. They can be shaped in different geometries instead of being monolithic and not being able to design the fuel cells into tight compartments. We are looking at ranges from 1 watt up to 5 kilowatts, so it's slightly smaller than the applications for a normal stacked fuel cell, which normally goes above 3 kilowatts. So we look at smaller applications or smaller power applications. We don't use bipolar plates as a standard stacked fuel cell, so it's very cheap to manufacture compared to a stacked fuel cell. We can choose to either have a active or a passive air feed, which normally is active, and a large support system is required for a stacked fuel cell with compressed air and high compressed hydrogen, where we use a more or less ambient pressure for the fuel cell. We have an open-end solution in the fuel cell, which also allows for ambient pressure, that we don't pressurize the fuel cell to be able to deliver the hydrogen into each cell. A normal stacked fuel cell is a closed end, and it operates on a very high pressure. Some key advantages and some of the markets that we address. We address 2 to 4 wheels. With that said, it's anything from e-bikes to scooters to last mile delivery vehicles. Auxiliary systems in larger applications, such as heaters and coolers. We also look at marine applications, and a very big growing market for us is AMR and AGVs and forklifts. Some USPs. We minimize charge time, as I said before. Instead of standing still and charging, and where uptime actually matters in an application, we see that we can charge on the go. So we actually refuel hydrogen in a few minutes instead of charging. We have 0 tailpipe emission. We can see that we prolong the lifespan of a battery up to 5 times, and we increase uptime, which is important as well. We have a very cost-efficient fuel cell design and manufacturing process. We save space and weight, and we lower the need for battery. We could either reduce battery size, or we could actually prolong the range of the vehicle itself. We also allow a freedom in design, and that is that we can design the fuel cell to fit the application specifically. We're very modular and scalable. As I said, we go from 1 watt up to 5 kilowatts. So that was a quick introduction of MyFC. Any more information, you can find us on the web, myfc.se, and also send an email to info@myfc. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Michael. That was an impressive presentation, and also your list of USPs is really impressive. So thank you so much for your insights and all this information. And thanks to all of you today, all eminent speakers. We very much look forward, of course, to hear more of you and your journey, and hope, of course, also to see you being connected with further German companies and develop further on the German market. You have now got a glimpse into the products and solutions of our Swedish companies and the energy ecosystem. If you're curious to learn more about Göteborg and its green city, or our pitching companies, you're invited to join us in a video chat right after this webinar. You might have seen that we have opened up a Teams meeting, and my colleagues and the companies are available for a discussion with you. So we're looking forward to meet you there. This actually was the last session in our live streaming series here at the Hanover Fair, and fair days surely fly. Thank you very much to all of you that have followed our webinars. Don't miss the chance to visit us in our virtual booth, which is open until tomorrow evening. You reach the pavilion via our exhibitors page at the Hanover Fair website. So let's stay in touch, let's continue our dialogue, and let's get even more German-Swedish corporations up and running. We are more than happy to assist. All the best to all of you. Goodbye. Hej då från Stockholm.